Man, the 80s. A time when Saturday mornings belonged to us, cereal bowls in hand, eyes glued to the tube. If you were a Gen X kid, chances are you remember Star Blazers, the animated epic that wasn't just a cartoon, it was a space odyssey. Hey everyone, Steve here from Gen X Countdown, and let's take a trip down memory lane with one of the most iconic shows of our childhood. Star Blazers was the show that introduced many of us to serialized story arcs, outer space drama, and the unforgettable thrill of saving humanity one warp jump at a time. Today we're breaking down the top 5 things that made Star Blazers so memorable and cemented it in the hearts of Gen X. And hey, if you're still here, that means this video was made just for you. Smash that subscribe button and let's blast off. Unlike other cartoons of the era, Star Blazers, which aired in the US in 1979 but dominated the early 80s, wasn't just a collection of one-off episodes. It was a continuous, unfolding story. This was mind-blowing for kids who were used to the episodic nature of Scooby-Doo or Looney Tunes. The plot: Earth is dying after a massive alien assault, and a brave crew boards the Argo, aka the Yamato, to find a cure that will save humanity in just 1 year. Each episode left us hanging, desperate to see what happened next. Remember the countdown timer in the show that ticked down to Earth's extinction? Pure anxiety. And yeah, we loved every minute of it. For many of us, Star Blazers was the first taste of Japanese anime. The visuals were jaw-droppingly different from what we've used to seeing on American television. It had a certain grit, detail, and flair that made it feel serious. The Argo looked like a real warship, complete with battle damage and dramatic space dogfights. The visuals had a mature edge, space felt cold, battles felt dangerous, and the stakes felt real. The sheer detail in the animation made Star Blazers stand out against the more simplistic style of other cartoons. There was no He-Man or Smurfs. This was high-stakes sci-fi warfare, and we loved it. Captain Avatar, Derek Wildstar, Nova, Mark Venture, these characters weren't just flat cookie-cutter heroes. They had flaws, they made mistakes, and they changed as the series progressed. Derek Wildstar's evolution from the hot-headed pilot to a responsible leader was captivating. And let's not forget the heartbreaking death of Captain Avatar. Who else had to process actual grief from a Saturday morning cartoon? The emotional death blew our minds as kids. This was storytelling with substance. It made us feel like we were growing up right alongside the crew of the Argo. Let's be real with each other for a minute. The battles were epic. The wave motion gun was the ultimate sci-fi weapon, and every time it fired, we got chills. The Argo itself was a character, a ship with a personality, a history, and enough firepower to blow Gamillion fleets to smithereens. The tension of seeing the crew prep for battle, the countdowns, the tactical discussions, it made us feel like we were part of the action. It was Star Wars for the small screen. And for a generation obsessed with tech, gadgets, and spaceships, Star Blazers delivered in spades. Does anyone else draw the Argo in the margins of their school notebooks? Or was that just me? Sure, it was a cartoon, but Star Blazers tackled some heavy themes. The imminent destruction of Earth, loss, sacrifice, and the horrors of war were front and center. For many of us, it was the first time we saw heroes struggle with ethical dilemmas, lose friends in battle, or face consequences for their decisions. This was a real sense that failure was possible. This wasn't the sanitized, conflict-free storytelling of other kids' shows. It was a gut-wrenching reminder that sometimes victory came at a price. And let's face it, that made Star Blazers stick with us long after the credits rolled. And honestly, those are just 5 reasons Star Blazers became a cornerstone of the Gen X nostalgia. This wasn't just a show, it was a rite of passage. It shaped how we saw storytelling, animation, and even life's bigger challenges. Which moments from Star Blazers hit you hardest? Did you have a favorite character or a battle that blew your mind? Drop your memories in the comments below and let's relive those Argo adventures together. And hey, if you enjoyed this countdown, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more nostalgic trips down memory lane. And until next time, stay awesome, my fellow Gen X warriors. And above all, stay cool.